Welcome back to the OMB Law Board. I'm Simon Bennett, and today I've got Jennie with me from the Insurance and Litigation team. Welcome back, Jennie.
Thanks, Simon.
We want to talk all things coronial inquest and inquiry. So imagine this. You've just lost a loved one. You're grieving. It's a very difficult time. And out of the blue, you get a letter in the mail saying that there's a coronial inquiry. Is this trouble? Should I be worried?
Absolutely not, Simon, and I'm here to tell you why.
Fantastic. So stick with us and we're going to run you through the coronial inquest, what it is and why you don't need to be worried. So Jennie, could you explain and maybe give some examples of circumstances where I might expect to receive that letter that there is a coronial inquest or a coronial inquiry into a death?
Okay, Simon. So it usually occurs when the death is unexplained. It could be in a circumstance where it could be a road accident or it could be a workplace accident where someone's unfortunately had a nasty accident that has resulted in death. It can be a car crash. It can be as a result of someone's unexpected death in a hospital. They may have gone in for a very simple procedure and unexpectedly have unfortunately passed away. Really any circumstance where the death is not expected. So it wouldn't be if someone just passed away from old age or where they were expected to be.
So it's really in a circumstance where we're trying to get the answers and the coroner is asking questions to find out why that unexpected death occurred and how maybe we could avoid that in the future.
That's exactly correct. And usually then they can ask questions that is there something that could be done from a public health perspective or within a facility to maybe prevent that from occurring again.
Okay, and what isn't it?
Okay, it's not a criminal matter. It's not basically an inquisitorial system. It's not about punishment. It's not about guilt. It's about giving some answers to genuine people who need some kind of help and closure.
So I don't need to be worried?
No.
Okay. Well, what are the key questions that the inquiry might?
Okay. So the key questions are a coroner wants to know, obviously, who has passed away, the identity of the person. They want to know a bit about that person. They want to know why they've perhaps passed away, the cause. And then they want to know, importantly, what are some things that may have prevented that or what are some things they could do in the future to perhaps prevent or change an outcome.
So a bit of a fact-finding mission to get to the bottom, if you like, of the events that led to the death.
Absolutely.
Okay. And what about the process? What process do they go through to get these answers? Okay.
So look, surprisingly, not everything goes to a full-blown inquest. Most matters just start off with there's a reportable death. So someone's passed away and it's not a normal death or something that's readily explained. So there might be an initial inquiry into why that's happened. Usually that's an investigation. The police might be involved. The facility where the person has passed might be involved. There might be some experts involved, and that's where it might stop. It might be an investigation and they'll determine that they don't need to go any further. That happens more often than not. What happens if they need to go further is it will go to a coroner for a coronial inquest. And that's the stage where a coroner will call what's called a pre-conference. They'll get all the parties who may have an interest in it, and that can necessarily include family members. And the family members will be advised, usually by a letter. People who have had some kind of involvement will be involved. Also, they will call experts. And at that stage, the coroner will say, what do we need to find out? What questions do we need to ask? And how long will this take? Okay. Then after that, a date is set. It can be 1 day, it can be 2 days, it can be 3 days. And then at that process, at the hearing, the coroner will ask questions. Other interested parties can ask questions. Lawyers are usually involved to represent interested parties. A lot of questions. It's not inquisitorial. It's not guilt finding. It's a real inquiry process. And at the end of that process, the coroner will usually step down for a period, consider the evidence, ask for submissions, and then make a final determination. And that then becomes published.
So you talked about legal representation. I got this letter in the mail. I am nervous and concerned. Can you help?
Absolutely, we can help.
And should you get a lawyer at this time?
Look, I would say yes. It's a very confronting situation for families. They often are confused. It seems formal. They're going through grieving. just having someone who can talk them through the process and tell them what they can and may not expect, and just being someone who knows the questions to ask and knows the right avenues to take. It's really important to have that support.
Okay, well, let's give our listeners a little bit of information about a coronial inquest. When they're a family member, what are their rights and what are their obligations?
Okay. So, look, they've got a right to be heard. They've got a right to attend. The coroner realises that they're in a very unique position. So the coroner goes out of their way to make sure that they are represented and they are heard. They have a right to put a family statement forward. That's usually about who the deceased was. So the court can get a really good feel of who this person was, not just the deceased, who they were, their background. That's one of their primary abilities to put forward at the hearing. Then their rights are to have the hearing occur, be a part of it, have some questions put through to the coroner, usually through a lawyer, and then basically make some submissions at the end.
So it sounds daunting, and obviously receiving that letter would be quite confronting at a very difficult time. Jennie, your team here at OMB can help and have been involved in cases?
Yes, we can certainly help, and I'm more than happy to help.
And guide the families through what is an otherwise traumatic time?
Absolutely.
So if you find yourself in the unfortunate situation of having lost a loved one in circumstances where a coronial inquiry or inquest comes about, contact Jennie and our litigation and insurance team to help you and guide you through what can otherwise be quite a difficult process.
Happy to help.
Fantastic. So thanks so much, Jennie, and thanks for your time today. And we look forward to seeing you next week on the OMB Law Board.